let's chat goals for 2024. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So I'm going to share what my reading goals are for 2024. So I have created a little printable for my reading journal. So I'll tell you what's on these. What I'm kind of making a goal for this coming year. Okay, so some of these goals are very similar to my goals for 2023, but they've gone well, some of them, and some of them not so well. Probably in January I will do a recap of how did my goals go in 2023, but for now let's look to the future and plan for 2024. So my first goal is to read every single day. So I have a tracker where I track when I read every day, or every day that I read, and so far this year, I think it will be successful. Every day is colored in, and I hope to continue that for next year. Mainly because I love to read, especially right before bed. I say shuts my mind down to go to sleep, but depending on what book I'm reading, it also really, I don't want to go to sleep yet. I gotta know, right? I'm sure you probably have that problem too, depending on what book you're reading. But yes, I love to take time at the end of the day to read. I always read at least half an hour before bed, if not longer. And so I want to continue that habit. Okay, so then goal number 2 is to read 98 books. Now, I literally mean read 98 books. So I'm not counting audiobooks in this one. 98 is just a very random number in a way. That is what I chose for my goal this year. I expected to read less this year than I did the year before, which is why I didn't do 100 or more. I did 98. I have read just over 100. I don't have an exact number at this point in time, but I'm again, next year, I kind of expect to read a little bit less than I did this year. But we'll see how that goes. So I thought, 98 is fairly reasonable. And it worked for me this year. Okay, then goal number 3 is to listen to 24 audiobooks. So I started listening to audiobooks at the very end of April. Well, really, I started mid-April because I finished my first one at the end of April. And that is was my introduction to audiobooks. I'm still very, I'm not fully into them. It really depends on the narrator for me to get invested. And yeah, I would prefer to sit and read it rather than listen to it. But I do really enjoy listening to have the audiobook going as I'm getting ready for work because I'm home alone, getting ready in the morning. So I have that time. Then I listen to it as I drive to work. I can listen to it at work, kind of once or twice a week, depending what job I'm doing exactly. Because there's some jobs that are just folding stuff, whatever, that, I don't need a ton of concentration for. And then I can listen to it on my way home. So that's about the only time I really listen to audiobooks. That's why it takes me a couple weeks to get through a book, because it's that time in the morning, then my trip to work, and then driving home from work. And I don't have a very far drive from home, from work, between home and work. So, yeah. So I thought 24 is fairly reasonable. That is 2 audiobooks a month. I think that's reasonable. So I am not including the audiobooks in my Goodreads goal for the number of books to read. Okay, then goal number 4 is to read the 24 books on my TBR bingo board. So I have had a bingo board for this will be my 3rd year going into it. And it's always got 24 books on it because of that free space in the middle. So 24. And there will be a video coming of what those 24 books are, because, do I tell you? I don't, the 24 books are, I don't get to choose the 24 books. I will tell you that part. So stay tuned for the video that's coming. It will be coming like very shortly after this video, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Very shortly after this video. So sharing what those 24 books will be and how those 24 books were chosen. Okay, so then my goal number 5 is to read 24 books that are on my rereads bingo board. Like, I feel like I should reword that goal. So I've created another bingo board, which I had this year as well, for books that I need to reread or want to reread. So I have a lot of books on my physical shelf that are not listed on Goodreads at all, which means I read them prior to 2011. So I am working my way through those books to give them a reread and see, do I want to keep them on my shelves? But then there's also books that I just want to reread. So I have a spreadsheet created of those books that I've never read according to Goodreads, which, I mean, I know I have. So I have a spreadsheet of that with other books that I just want to reread because I enjoyed them and I really enjoy rereading. So I have a list of 24 books that I plan on rereading for next year. Again, I did not get to choose those books, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, then goal number 6 is to limit my advanced reader copies to 12 books. So that is 1 book per month. That is mainly because I have so many books on my TBR that I want to read, that I don't want to be adding a bunch of new books to it. And I want to be able to handle like kind of the books I'm reading and kind of get my physical TBR a little bit down, even though I buy and create it up, but you know. But I just, yeah, I want to prioritize my own books, but I also want to promote new books that are coming. So I thought if I pick 1 book a month to promote, so that it worked well this year, and I think I actually didn't even do 12. I think I might have done 10 this year. So I'd like to do 1 per month, kind of focus on 1 book that's coming out that month, and that's what I'm going to do. So then goal number 7 is to complete my own reading challenge. So I have created a reading challenge for 2024. I will link the announcement video in the description below where you can go and find out all about that if you haven't already seen it. And so I want to complete that. There are 15 prompts on that and I want to be able to complete the whole thing. It is my own, so I want to complete all the prompts. Okay, then number 8 is to complete Katie's reading challenge. So I will link Katie's announcement video below, and I plan on participating in that one. And then number 9 is to complete Oshina's reading challenge. So again, I will link Oshina's reading challenge in the description box as well. And so those are the 3 reading challenges that I am going to focus on. Now there's a possibility that I will participate in more. I'm really debating about participating in Chantel's at this point in time, but I only wanted 10 goals, so I did not list it as one of them. And looking at some of the prompts might challenge me a little bit more than I want to be challenged, honestly. So we'll see how that one goes. So goal number 10 is to complete 8 specific series. And those series are Hope Harbor by Irene Hannon, Misty River by Becky Wade, The Original 6 Hockey by Carolyn Miller, The Sky King Ranch by Susan May Warren, Defend and Protect by Lynn H. Blackburn, London Beginnings by Jennifer Delamere, The Supper Club by Carla Lorando, and If I Run by Terry Blackstock. Okay, so the reason I picked these 8. So Hope Harbor by Irene Hannon is I have read up to book number 6 this year. And book number 10 comes out in April. So I would really like to get 7, 8, 9 read before book 10 comes out. Can I do it? I don't know. I was hoping to get 7 and 8, like all the way up to 8 this year. Didn't happen. So we'll see. Okay, then Misty River by Becky Wade. I have read book 1. I really hope to read book 2 before the end of the year, but we'll see. But that still leaves me book 3 to read. So I'd like to get that series finished. Then the original 6 hockey, there is 6 books in that series. I have read 2, so I'd like to read the remaining 4. Then Sky King Ranch by Susan May Warren. I have read book 1. There's 2 more books. I'd like to get them done. Defend and Protect by Lane H. Blackburn. This is a 3-book series. I have not started it yet, but it is a series that I really want to start. I absolutely loved Lynn Blackburn's Dive Team Investigation series, so I really would like to get to this series, especially before the new series starts, because she has another series starting in March. Okay, then London Beginnings by Jennifer Delamere. Again, it's a brand new series to me, brand new author to me, but this series just looks so interesting. I love the covers. It's set in London. I want to start and complete this series. Then The Supper Club by Carla Lorando. It's a 3-book series. I have read book 1 and 2 quite a few years ago, like when they were originally released. So I want to say like 17, 18, maybe somewhere in there. I have never read book 3. So I now own all 3 books. So I would like to reread books 1 and 2, and then so I can read book 3. So I want to read this series the whole way through. And then the last one is If I Run by Terry Blackstock. Yes, I have read this series. I've actually read book number 1 twice. I've read book number 2 and 3 once. So I read If I Run when it was initially released, I want to say 2017, then, or 16 maybe? Yeah, wow, is it that old? Yeah, maybe. Then I reread book number 1 when book number 2 was released, so that I read book 1 and 2 right away, like together. Then I read book 3 when it was released. So I read these as they were coming out. So I would like to reread this complete series kind of back to back. It's Terry Blackstock. It's an amazing series. I just have fond memories of it. So I want to. That's kind of my add-on of ones I just want to read. So those are the 8 series that I am going to focus on and complete them or get them as up to date as I can get. I don't think any of them have any more coming out. Well, Hope Harbor would be the only question mark. I don't know if book number 10 is the last book or not. So that would be the only one that's kind of a question mark. Will that series be done? Don't know. Won't know till whether she announces or not, right? Okay, so those are my 10 primary goals that I have written down that I'm going to focus on. I do kind of have another goal. I mean, kind of have 2, right? I mentioned possibly participating in Chantel's reading challenge, but that's not going to be one of my primary goals. But if I can do it, that'd be great. Then the other goal that I did not write down, because I don't know how I'm going to track this, so I didn't want to create something for it, is I would like to become more active on Instagram next year. I posted like, I don't know, maybe 24 times throughout the year this year. Maybe, if even that, which isn't even like every other week. Well, that, I guess. No, that isn't. So, yeah. But I don't know how to track that or what I want to commit to. Like I thought, well, do I want to commit to posting at least once a week? I mean, that seems pretty reasonable, but do I want to commit to that? I don't know yet. So basically my goal is to just be more active. That's all. Yeah. Very, very wide range. So those are the goals that I am focusing on for 2024. I'd love it if you would share what goals you are setting, or if you even set any goals in the comments below. Let's chat. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for future videos. Thank you. Bye.